Hi guitarlings, I'm Gray and this is Hub Guitar. We're going to do the nursery rhyme, I'm a Little Teapot, on solo fingerstyle guitar. Now those of you who know me know that this is actually one of my favorite nursery rhymes and I often sing it while doing a little jiggle all around the house. So here we go. Alright, so let's jump in from the beginning. We've got a little G major chord, G on the 3rd fret of the big string, open D and open G. And then it goes quickly to the A on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So I wrote that as a hammer-on, so you can hammer on a finger there. And then also B to C as a hammer-on. So whenever you see ornaments like hammer-ons and slides in guitar music, they're quite often optional, as is the case here. So if that's giving you some trouble, just pluck them. It's just two different variations of the same thing, pluck or hammer. Then we go to G over B. And we get that G on top there on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. To a C major chord. Then we put the G in the melody on the 3rd fret of the high E string, and then we have this little D chord. Altogether, that's like this. Now we're going to C major again, and we repeat the melody note. If you look at the rhythm there, it's actually a 16th note, so it should sound like this. Da 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 da. So it's not an 8th note, which would sound like this. So you should try to basically make that last C note very short. And then we switch to that E minor. You can do that with one finger if you like. And then we've got this D voicing. So I'm putting my pinky on the 5th fret of the 5th string. I'm putting my ring finger on the 4th fret of the 4th string, and index finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Same thing there, it's actually a 16th note. Da, 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 and back to G. So all together for the first line, it sounds like this. Going to the second line, the first measure of the second line, measure 5, is actually the same as measure 1. And the next measure is also the same as measure 2. So that should be no problem. Let's go to measure 7. So there's a few ways that you can do this. It is a little bit tricky. So it starts with an A minor 7 chord. That's open 5th string, 2nd fret of the 4th string, open 3rd, 1st fret of the 2nd string, and 3rd fret of the high string. I'm doing that with my pinky on the top note, index finger on the 2nd string, and then I've got my middle finger on the 2nd fret. And you'll also see there's a staccato marking, which means that although the chord is written as a full-length note, it actually dies almost immediately after being played. And that gives it a little bit more of an emphasis. So that's tip me over and or. So there's kind of a little bit of a pause there almost. So after we play that chord, we kill it and we go to the open E string. The next chord, you want to pay careful attention to the fingering. The way I wrote it is you put your pinky on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and then you put your ring finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. That lets you pull off from the 3rd to the 1st, or just to quickly get your index finger onto the 1st fret of the 2nd string. So if you don't plan that carefully, you'll kind of be stuck doing a jump. But you know what? That might end up being better for you where you are and at your level of playing. So compare the different options and try to pick one that feels natural to you. Then at the last measure, we go back to the D chord. That's the one with the pinky on the 5th fret, ring finger on the 4th fret, and index finger on the 2nd fret. And we go back to resolve it on a G major chord. Let's hear that whole thing one more time. All right, so that's it for I'm a Little Teapot. Thanks for watching.